The name of the artist we're studying today is Henri Matisse. The title of this piece is The Cat with Red Fish. Please make sure that that's in quotation marks. And if you want to be fancy, in French, it's Le Chat aux Poissons Rouges. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but that's okay. The medium of this piece is oil painting. The elements that are most important for this piece are color and space. Obviously, when you look at this piece, it has some really bright color. Matisse here is using very vibrant, primary reds and blues and yellows. So it's, almost like he got, all the basic colors and just decided to go ham. Everything is super, super bright. Sometimes, I've had students, whenever they see this, just really not like it because, when you stare at it too long, it can start to, make your eyes really tired. Some students I've had say that, it really wakes them up and energizes them. So it depends, but definitely very bright. For space, we have a really good foreground here with the cat on the table and these fruits. The midground is the room that the cat is in. And then the background is outside the window. We have this lawn and some trees and mountains in the very, very far background with the sky. So he has a good amount of depth. The principles that are most important for this piece are emphasis and movement. When we're talking about emphasis, whenever you first look at this, it's really, really bright, but also this cat is very large here in the center. And that makes you immediately bring your eye right to it. So it fills up a very large part of the canvas, and that brings your eye right to it, so it puts an emphasis. For movement, because we go right to the cat, and remember that movement is the path that your eye takes through the piece. So the cat is looking down to its little leg here, and we follow the path of its leg down. The fish are turning to the right, so your eye kind of naturally wants to curve there. And also, you catch the bit of the fruit on the way over. The leg of the cat helps draw your eye up. You have the roundness of the cat's body, and you go kind of here. So it's sort of like a big spiral there. Its tail kind of catches you for a second, and you stop, and then look up the tree, and then kind of come down. So you're kind of stuck in this vortex of the piece. And one of the things that an artist wants to do is to keep you looking at the piece of artwork. So you don't want for someone to look at the piece of art and then just move on. So you want to try and catch them. The mood of this piece is energetic. So those colors definitely bring out that energy. We also have, some action going where the cat is reaching towards those fish, and the fish are probably trying to swim away from it. So very energetic. The genre is Fauvism, and that's down here at the bottom of this slide. Fauvism means wild beasts. So the public was appalled by the Fauvists' use of very bright colors, and they called the work garish and ugly because they used these super bright colors that aren't like real life. Matisse was born in 1896 and died in 1954. And he was a French painter. He actually passed the bar to be a lawyer, and he planned to go into that profession. But he was bedridden for a really long period. He was sick, and his mother gave him some art supplies, and he never looked back. Decided he wasn't going to practice law, and instead he was going to be an artist. Matisse was a leader in the Fauvism movement. Again, a lot of these pieces are using these bright, garish colors. So someone that would, look at this piece here on the right, woman with a hat, she looks kind of green and sickly, and it's not realistic where it looks, like a photograph. So a lot of times people would be very critical of that work. On the left is the piece Icarus, Plate 8. This is actually a piece that is made of cut paper. And it's really interesting. I think it's pretty different from the rest of his work. Instead of the paintings, you have this very clear, silhouette of the person and these kind of stars as he falls through the sky. And, just still using those very bright colors and a very, gestural sort of way, because the, woman with hat, it's also not, realistic like a photograph either, as far as how it is shown. The piece here on the left, Still Life with Red Rug, also is, again, really using these bright, vivid colors and, not really trying to give your eyes a break, really. You've got a lot of energy there, a lot of this very strong red and deep greens. The piece on the right, Window at Tangier, is part of a series. So there were a few of these pieces where he really enjoyed having the idea of you're looking through a window. So not just looking at the piece of art, but that you are placed as the viewer inside a particular place and looking out the window at something else, which really, whenever we're looking at art, that's kind of what we're doing, is we're looking through a window into wherever that artist was and what they were looking at. And this one, it's, a lot more calm, still not necessarily realistic colors, but not as blinding, we'll say, to the eye. And also, if we go back to the original piece, again, we have this scene that's going on inside, and we're also looking outside of a window there. So that was something that he really enjoyed in his work. He was also inspired by Van Gogh and Gauguin, and he was a total cat lover. So this is a picture of Matisse himself, and I definitely, whenever I get older, I want to be in this exact position. I've got my art right in front of me, and I've got a cat at my feet. So definitely anybody that's very big on cats, they're good in my book.